They say that the teacher was grooming the student. Well, now that teacher is facing charges. They also told us that it was right there on that front porch where he took his last breath. Not only were people's cars spray painted, but police were able to connect the dots and find out that one of the suspects spray painted his own garage. Neighbors in the area say that they believe that this green line may have been used in the past, many of them holding signs like this one that say immigrants make America great, but saying that they're all here for the same message, and that message is a message of acceptance. The goal is to clean up homes like this one behind me to make sure they're not a hazard and to salvage what is left. Growing inside of their townhomes. They gave us these pictures. Take a look. That's when the driver made a quick thinking decision to just slam the door, put the car in drive, and drive off. Now police say this photo may help lead them to a person they say is connected, filled with dozens of names, many of them local activists. This area say that they see car wrecks often right here in this area. Now some are wondering whether or not this list violates this MPD policy. When police arrived here earlier in the evening, that's when they found 2 people shot and killed. All of this happening right here, a safe place. Instead, a shooting took place right here in the lobby. You can still see the blood there on the floor, and the shooting sent one person to the hospital. That investigative file includes not just paperwork, but also video and audio files. For the first time, we are hearing in the officers' own words what prompted them to shoot and also why they say they feared for their lives. Less than a month apart, the TBI stepped in to investigate 2 different officer-involved shootings in Memphis.
They're in the doorway where I'm at, and I'm telling them, drop it, drop it, drop it.
Officer Leon Dixon is heard on this recorded interview with TBI agents. Dixon was identified as the officer who shot and killed Alexio Allen, who family members said was having a mental episode the night he was killed. The report details Allen's previous encounters with police, including this 911 call he made to police where he describes being fearful for his life.
I believe I'm being watched. I believe somebody is out to try to kill me.
Police reportedly went to Allen's home twice. The second time was after family members called 911 asking for an ambulance. It was during this second encounter that officers described Allen as being agitated. While talking to officers, reportedly a struggle started between Allen and his fiancée over a rifle. That's when Officer Dixon says he repeatedly asked them to drop the weapon.
That shotgun is pointed and tilted directly at my chest, and at that time, that's when I fired my weapon.
In a separate case, we hear Officer Marshall Smith, who was off duty at the time, called 911 after reportedly shooting Luis Soto at this Memphis gas station.
I'm a cop. I'm in a vehicle. I just shot a guy who pulled a gun on me.
Smith was with his fiancée during a visitation exchange of their 4-year-old who had been with Soto. Witness statements say during the exchange, Soto pulled out a gun and pointed it at Smith.
No, I'm the one shot him. I shot him. He pulled his gun on me. He cocked one in the chamber and told me to me on me.
And in both cases, charges were not brought against those officers. We did reach out to the family members in these cases, and at the time, they had not seen the full investigative file. However, the family of Luis Soto told us they do plan on filing an appeal. In downtown Memphis, Sasha Jones, WMC Action News 5. The sound of heartache. A deafening reality for these 6 families. Their loved ones a part of a staggering statistic.
It's never gotten any better. It's still, the pain is still there.
228 people killed in the city of Memphis in 2016. The most homicides in a single year since 1993. We watched as families grieved at candlelight vigils and set up makeshift memorials. None of it bringing back the sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers lost to violence.
A person that I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with, my soulmate, he got snatched away from me just like that.
These faces show the pain, torment, and agony hundreds of other Memphis families endure.
My heart is dead. I'm crushed because my baby gone.
My son didn't even get a chance to graduate.
I had to walk the stage for him. And these documents show that as the city's murder rate reached a breathtaking high, the number of arrests did not. During one of the most violent years on record, the number of arrests made by Memphis police officers fell by 5,000. In 2015, Memphis police officers made a total of 77,549 arrests. Last year, the number totaled 72,004.
That's indicative of you don't have 500 more police officers out there, so you're not going to have the same amount of arrests.
Memphis Police Association President Mike Williams says just this week, more officers submitted resignation letters, many of them looking for better benefit and pension plans.
We're not saying that police officers are the be-all, see-all, know-all fix to the problem, but they are part of the solution to the problem.
Williams says it also comes down to making an impact in the communities where young people see too much. In 2016, more than half of homicide victims were under the age of 29, and MPD data shows the majority of homicide suspects are between 19 and 22 years old.
People are dying and being shot and stabbed and raped and robbed and murdered in front of them.
A lot of people are scared to work with them, but you can't help them if you're scared.
Timothy Jones started the mentor group Big Homie after turning his life around. He says he works to inspire young men and works with them into adulthood.
Nobody wants to come alongside of them and become a lifetime partner with them.
There are also successful county-run programs, like the Shelby County Juvenile Ceasefire Program. Of the 89 juveniles who entered the program after committing a gun-related crime, only one has reoffended.
I just got it and I just shot 3 times.
Donovan Kilgore Russell has been on both sides. He was charged with a gun-related crime, but he has also been the victim of armed robbery. And in 2016, 4 of his friends were killed on the streets of Memphis. His mom worries he could be next.
I'm afraid for him. I'm very concerned.
She says the ceasefire program centers on prevention, teaching young people like her son there is an alternative to using a gun. Just this month, the Memphis Police Department started the Violent Crimes Unit, with preventing murders being the #1 priority. But with roughly 30% of homicide cases from 2016 still unsolved.
But you still can't forget about the cases that have already happened.
5 of the 6 families who met with the WMC Action News 5 investigators want to know what police are doing to catch the people who killed their loved ones last year.
I can call them every week. Every week I can call them. But I want them to call me.
Because this pain,
I'm doing my own investigation because I'm going to find out who did this to him.
Will not go away. For the WMC Action News 5 investigators, I'm Sasha Jones. We asked inmates to fill out this survey in their own words. It's 18 questions long, all about home break-ins and burglaries. We wanted to know how they chose their targets, whether or not security systems deterred them, and if a pet inside of the home would scare them off. What we learned was shocking. A burglar can get in and out of your home in seconds. Crafty, tech-savvy, and downright bold. We're learning firsthand from convicted inmates how they get past your alarm systems, security doors, and watchdogs. The WMC Action News 5 investigators sent this detailed crime prevention questionnaire to 100 Tennessee inmates convicted of residential burglary. Questions included, what time of day did you prefer to break in? Did home protection or security signs posted outside the home deter you? Did pets in the home, like a dog, make you think twice? Did you ever do surveillance on your target? Responses poured in over the course of 5 weeks. The answers were anonymous. The majority of inmates told us they typically entered a home or apartment by smashing windows or through an unlocked or open window or door. One response read, quote, I never did apartments, too many neighbors. I preferred homes on dead-end streets or cul-de-sacs. Once inside, thieves searched drawers and closets for jewelry, cash, and guns. One inmate told us he searched normal places that people keep things. He said, "I don't tear up the house looking." Only half of the inmates said home protection or security signs posted outside deterred them from breaking in. Others said alarms only make time spent inside less. Sometimes you break in anyways to do a smash and grab. One inmate told us he would just take the security system too. Memphis Police Colonel Marcus Worthy admits calculated and time-conscious burglars are hard to catch in the act.
He may have already been in there. By the time we get the call, he's already gone.
Two of the most alarming responses came from inmates who told us, quote, "I would buy a tool off the computer to shut down the alarm system," and that, quote, "the ones that put the alarm system in are selling the software to people like me." All the more reason to consider alarm systems you install yourself with integrated security cameras and cellular backup signals.
If you have an alarm system, have a cellular backup on it so that if they cut your phone line, your signal still gets out.
We asked inmates several questions about how much surveillance they did on the homes they broke into. The responses will likely have you making major changes to your routine. Up next, the frightening truth about who's watching your home and how they do it. What these surveys reveal about the signals you and your pets are unknowingly sending to potential burglars. And this eye-opening moment caught on camera.
I just lifted it up.
Our investigation is just getting started.